Hi, it's Denise at myluxuryfirst.com. I am a medical mom to my 2-year-old son who has dysphagia. In today's video, we will be going over feeding therapy at home. My son is no longer swallowing and he hasn't had like a regular swallow therapy. So I needed to take steps at home, and that's why I am busy with home therapy for my son. Every time I ask his therapist, they don't really have any answers. So therefore, I just have to do whatever I can to help him. Today I will be using the dual spoon. What I'm using it for at home with my son is feeding therapy. In particular, dysphagia. Dysphagia means that you have a swallowing difficulty. How I get started at home is I first stroke his cheeks just to give him a little bit of stimulation so that way he knows what to expect. Maybe you could do it 3 to 5 times on each side. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So that's the cheeks. Then I like to go from the chin up to the lips because I'm trying to promote lip closure as well. So 1, 2, 3. Then from the top lip down. 1, 2, 3. So the dual spoon, it has textures on each side, so you can feel free to use which one you would like. This is going to be the dry method. You're going to put it inside of his mouth on the side. And you're going to rub it against his cheek and also a little bit on the gums. And what you're trying to do right here is get the tongue to follow the spoon. Tongue lateralization, which means that you're going to try to get the tongue to follow. So you're going to go on the other side, move it around, and you need to pay particularly close attention to the tongue. Also, you can let your child chew on the spoon just so they can practice chewing. So at this point, my child is NPO, which means no food by mouth. So I'm just doing some exercises with him. So that way, when he's ready for foods by mouth, he'll know how to chew and move his tongue around to move the food to the back of his throat. You want to see them moving their mouth around, making kissy noises, just anything that makes it seem like they're eating food. So that way they have some type of practice. So you want to do these exercises around the time that they're eating, so that way they can associate their feeding with food going into their mouth. Even though at this time you see there's nothing on the spoon. Eventually they'll start drooling. But what we want to do is try to get them to swallow their saliva. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Let's go in. Let the texture touch the tongue. And if you happen to go back just a little bit too far, that's fine, because you want to make sure that they have a gag reflex, which is great because you need the gag reflex so that way you can alert yourself that you may be choking or that you don't want to choke, something like that. Also touch the roof of the mouth with the texture, or even on the other side is fine. You just want to basically get their whole mouth relaxed, and you want them to get comfortable with having something in their mouth when it's mealtime. So the whole point of this is to promote swallowing, to promote a stronger swallow, so that way they can swallow their own food, swallow their own saliva without aspiration. So if you put the spoon in their mouth and then they start making like movements like kissy sounds, or just it seems like they're swallowing or moving their tongue around, then you can go ahead and take the spoon out and let them continue to do the work. And then once you see that they are done, then you can follow by going back in and trying to massage or do some type of tongue lateralization. So you definitely want to go on each side of the mouth several times. So don't forget the gums. And you can also, if they're able to, let them do it for themselves. Go, Marciano, put it inside your mouth. Put this spoon inside your mouth. This is your purple dual spoon. And don't forget to always explain to them what you're doing, so that way they know what you're doing. We're working to promote swallowing, to promote a healthy swallow, to promote chewing of food. Once the food actually gets in there, he'll know what to do. If your child has a trach, you want to be using a passing ear while you are doing this, so that way you lessen the chances of aspiration. So the reason why I'm working on this at home is because we haven't had good luck with speech therapists or dysphagia swallow therapy. And so I need to be working on this at home with whatever I can come up with or whatever I've learned along the way. So that way he doesn't lose any of his chewing ability, because he already has lost his swallow ability due to having the NG tube in for over a year and also being intubated for almost 3 months. So he was swallowing sometimes after that, but because he didn't have therapy and due to COVID and just waiting for the therapist to get back, we eventually lost the swallowing. And so now we're just going to be working every single day to try to get that back. So it's basically like a rehab at home. And then when the feeding is all done, you can say, all done. And then he knows that the therapy is done. All done. Until next time. Bye.